You're welcome back to The Right Hook. This is Jonathan Healy. Could companion robots be the future of dementia care? Well, a European project named Mario is looking at how carer service robots can serve as a companion to those with dementia by carrying out tasks such as reminding you to take medication, helping you to find things that are lost and alleviating boredom. The project is being led by a team of the School of Nursing and Midwifery at the National University of Ireland, Galway. Their lead researcher, Professor Dympna Casey, is with us on the line. Dympna, good evening.
Good evening, Jonathan.
This sounds like the stuff of science fiction. Presumably it'll be a little bit more basic before we have robots walking around our homes.
Yes, I think we have to wait a little time before we'll have robots walking around our homes. But in terms of people with dementia, this is really an innovative project that we're doing. In terms of people with dementia, one of the key issues that they have is that they become disconnected from society. They lose the confidence of engaging socially, and their social health therefore declines, and they become lonely and isolated. So the whole focus of this robot is actually to provide social companionship to people with dementia, because really within the health services today, the resources don't stretch to provide that level of support, and therefore we would see that Mario becomes a companion for the person with dementia, but becomes complementary to healthcare providers.
Okay, tell us how Mario would work. Are we talking about something like an iPad on wheels, or how will it function?
Yeah, no, it's not an iPad on wheels. There is an argument that could be made to say that actually, why would you have a robot? There's a lot of technology out there. There are iPads, there are smartphones. Surely would they not be able to provide the service? But the reality is that for people with dementia, some of this technology is too complex for people to use. And Mario will actually be able to provide a much easier user technology interface for people with dementia. In addition, if Mario can talk to the person unaided and can prompt the person and can support their failing memory, if you use an iPad or a smartphone, this is a disembodied piece of equipment, and the person with dementia doesn't know where the voice is coming from, which can actually be quite confusing.
So tell us what it'll... Again, back to my basic point, I'm really curious as to what it's going to look like.
It's going to be, in terms of, it's about 5 feet tall. It weighs about 5 stone. It has a very envious waistline of about 31 inches. And it navigates on wheels, and basically it has 2 eyes, animated eyes, and it's a very friendly face. And if people want to have a really good look at what it looks like, they can actually visit the website, which is www.mario-project.eu.
Okay, now, you say that these will help people who are suffering from dementia, but robotics are fairly limited in what they do at the moment. This is going to be something that will evolve over time, and presumably it'll start out basic but could get kind of complicated and do complicated things quite quickly, I suspect.
Yeah, it's at the early stages. You're absolutely right. So at the moment, in terms of its development, we have spoken with people with dementia, got their input into what they want. And the level at the moment, they want really very practical things in Mario. They want Mario to be able to keep them connected to society. They want Mario to be able to... so, for example, people have said to us, look, we really want to know what's happening in the parish football games that are happening, because actually we don't go out anymore because our memory's failing. We really don't want people to know that that's an issue. But we'd like to know what's happening and still be able to have a conversation with somebody about those issues. So Mario's going to be able to access that information locally and give them that within their own home environment to keep them connected.
Now, people who like science fiction will automatically say this sounds like HAL in 2001: A Space Odyssey, or more recently there was a TV drama on Channel 4 called Humans, where they had these types of robots that were designed to do exactly this type of thing, except then they got sentient and of course they became problematic. Then they tried to kill them all. So, science fiction isn't too far away from this, and when you park the kind of incredulity of that kind of stuff, there are practical applications of all of this as well, with data protection and cameras and who's going to have access to the likes of these Mario robots. How are we going to deal with all of them, first of all?
Yeah, in terms of what you're describing from the television, we are quite a distance from that in terms of the abilities of those robots. That's that are being portrayed. And I have to say, when I started out initially, Jonathan, my idea was Star Wars and Star Trek as well, because technology really isn't my area of expertise, and that's what I was expecting where we're at. We're nowhere near that level of technology. In terms of what Mario can actually do at the moment, it's a very basic level. And when Mario arrives, Mario will actually arrive on the pilot sites in September. And when he comes, he's at a very rudimentary level. And we have to work on him and build him up further to be able to do some of the elements that I've just described, reading the books, talking to people, connecting them up to the community sites and things like that. So it's at a very rudimentary level. But your point in terms of privacy and ethics issues is really important. And really, in terms of the development of technology, for people with dementia, we really need to keep that to the fore. And we're doing that with the Mario project. I mean, with any state-of-the-art technology, the ethics and the privacy and the data storage issue is at the top of the list. And this project actually is pushing the boundaries of those forward, because as we're going along and developing the actual technologies, we have to think of, this is throwing up an ethical or a privacy issue that no one's dealt with before. Mm-hmm. So we need to really have structures in place that protects the participants with dementia at all times.
Okay, and of course the big question, how much is Mario going to set people back if they want one of these in their homes, either for themselves or for their loved one?
Well, when it comes to mass production, the estimated cost would be 5,000 to 7,000 euros.
To produce it?
For actually to actually purchase one of these robots.
Well, that's reasonable enough. I mean, it's expensive, but I was expecting somewhere north of 30,000 or 40,000. So you're going to see these in mass production. You're probably going to see them in people's homes relatively soon.
That is the hope.
Okay. Dympna, it's a new world. It's a very exciting one to be involved with. As you say, you weren't in robotics yourself, but you're on a fairly steep learning curve, I suspect, when you're dealing with this. And we look forward to seeing them in action. Professor Dympna Casey from the University of Ireland, Galway, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And that's it for today's Right Hook. My thanks to the production team, Alex Russo, Maggie Geth,